One of the things that I love so much about waterfowl hunting is all of the different sounds made by the birds, both ducks and geese. But ducks in particular are very intriguing to me with all their quacks, peeps, whistles. It's really cool to listen to them. And there's a lot of calls made to imitate those sounds. But calls like this, are they really effective in bringing ducks in? Or are they just a gimmick? We're going to talk about that this time on Surviving Duck Season.
Surviving Duck Season, offering you the best waterfowl content. Subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell, and don't miss any of our great content. Presented by Mojo Outdoors and High and Dry.
Have you ever used a call for duck hunting that wasn't a Mallard Hen call? If you have, smash that like button and let me know what kind you like to use. Let me know in the comment section below. A Mallard Hen call is the most widely used duck call on the planet. And why is that? Well, it's because mallards are the most abundant waterfowl on the planet. And it's also because they're one of the most callable ducks. They seem to react more predictably to a duck call than any other species. If you're trying to figure out what mallard call is the best for you, check out this video I did a couple of weeks ago about the different types of mallard calls. Now, most of you who have hunted just a little bit have even recognized the effectiveness of a hen mallard call in attracting species other than mallards. They attract divers, they attract pintails, teal, all kinds of, other types of dabbling ducks. So does that mean that all of these other kinds of calls are just a big gimmick? I'll admit to you, I'm a sucker for gadgets and gizmos. I try just about everything I can to see if it works. And I can promise you this, if it works, I'm going to use it again. I'm going to hone the skill and use it to its most effectiveness. But if it doesn't work, I'm not going to mess around with it any longer than it takes to figure that part out. And I'll be the first one to let you know, don't waste your time. So I've got a bunch of different calls here that I've picked up over the years, not mallard calls, but other types of calls. And I've tried them all out. There may be more that I haven't tried, but the main species that I go after, I've tried everything that I can get my hands on just to see if it works. So I'm going to demonstrate a few of those for you on this video. The first thing I got right here is a Gadwall call. Now, it's a crazy looking contraption, I know. Basically, this is made by Duck Commander, and it is a whistle on the backside, and then it's kind of jammed in the bottom of just another kind of call right here. And I'm going to blow it for you right now. This is an absolutely incredible sounding call. Now, I picked this up, I don't know, it's probably been 15 years ago, maybe longer than that. And the reason why I did is I had a spot that we were hunting in a Tupelo break, and there was lots and lots of gadwalls coming in there. And, gadwalls are gadwalls. I mean, sometimes they suck right in, and sometimes they don't even pay attention to you. But if you can get them in earshot of this call, it's absolutely brutal on them. It worked very well for us. Now, the downside to this call is it's not very loud. So, if you're in big open water, they're not going to hear you unless they're pretty close. And so that's, like I said, that's the only negative about that particular call. But boy, it does sound really good, and it definitely works. The next call that I've got, I'm going to show you, this is also made by Duck Commander, and it's a Mallard Drake call. And basically, it's a whistle that, a tube-shaped whistle, and so I'm going to blow it for you right now. Sounds really good. All you do is you just go. You want to try to make as low of a vocal sound in your voice as you can when you're humming into it. It makes it sound much better than a. You see the difference? And sometimes what I'll do when I use this call, makes it sound like there's a whole bunch of drakes, making sounds on the water. Again, it's a very, very soft call. So if you're hunting in an area that's open water, you're hunting in an area where there's lots, it's really windy day, something like that, it's very difficult for them to hear it. But I'll tell you this too, this can be used for more than just a mallard drake call. That's a drake widgeon sound, and then you can use it for a teal. To me, it's not the best call to use for those. It really, really excels as a mallard drake call. In fact, it's absolutely the best mallard drake call I've ever heard. I've tried a bunch of different ones, and that's my favorite one. I'll tell you what I use on my lanyard. I use this is a whistle as well, and I use it for teal mainly and widgeon. Here's what it sounds like for a teal. And all you got to do is turn your hand a little bit to cover this hole up, and it can make a different sound, just a little variance. Now, does it work? Absolutely. I see an incredible difference in using a teal whistle when I have teal working. And we have teal, I use it every day. We have lots of teal. We usually shoot at least a few, if not a bunch, every day of duck season. And I see a gigantic difference when I blow that whistle compared to not using it. And then also, I use this as a widgeon whistle. Does it work? Unbelievably well. When a widgeon flies over, a group of widgeons fly over, you hit them with that. It's deadly. The calls that I keep on my lanyard are calls that are extremely effective that I will use nearly every day. Do I use a Gadwall call? Hardly ever, not anymore with the way that I hunt. If I was hunting in a little Tupelo break or something like that, I'd probably use it more often. Same with the drake whistle. I'm just not in a situation where it's quiet enough for me to feel like that this is going to work as often, so I don't use that very much. But I definitely use this little whistle right here, and I also use this one. Now this is a high roller made by Primos, and you can use it for different whistle type duck calls too, but I only use it for the pintail part because it's the very best pintail whistle that I've ever heard. And the reason why is it's got this little, a little piece of plastic that rolls around inside here, and it makes that trill sound, so you don't have to flutter your tongue, and sometimes your tongue just won't flutter, when you're cold or whatever, you're not trying to think about it. So all you do is you grab a hold of the sides here and blow. Works really, really good. It sounds just like them, but does it work? Now, some people feel like pintails are not hard to get. Where we hunt in Arkansas, they're an extremely wary bird. They are not the easiest bird to shoot, but I would say that in a week's time, my blind sees half a dozen shot. We shoot, not one every day, but we shoot one most days. And I feel like it's because I use this call. You can not use the call and try to get them to come in. They might work, they might not. Most of the time, they don't. But I have a lot of really, really good success with getting them to circle and to come in, even groups of pintails coming in using that call. Here's another call that this is made by Primos, and it is a feed call is what it is. And so, these have been around for a long, long time. I remember when I was a little kid, my uncle gave me one. And the one he gave me, I don't know how old that thing was. It had to have been 30 years old when he gave it to me, and I wish I could find it. I can't even find the thing. But this one is made by Primos. And the idea is you can be blowing a call with one hand and doing this with another hand. How effective this is, I don't know. I'd never use it. I mean, I tried it a couple of times and thought, oh, that sounds okay. But it's part of my repertoire to use a feed call, and I'm pretty good at it, and so I don't really need that. Some guys have trouble, doing a feed call. And so I think that if you're one of those guys, this could be really effective for you. Here's a wood duck call. This is also made by Duck Commander. I always hear a lot of guys talking about, oh, you can't call wood ducks. Yeah, if you don't know how to call the right way, they're not going to come in. Most guys use a wood duck call the wrong way. They're making the sound that a wood duck makes when he's flying. Or she, actually, it's a hen. And that's not going to do anything to help you get a bird to come in. You want to use a call that sounds like birds on the water. So there's 2 or 3 different types of calls you can do with a wood duck call that sounds just like a wood duck sitting on the water. Anyway, that's a wood duck call, and I feel like they're very effective. I've had a lot of success with them, but again, you gotta make a sitting on the water sound, not a flying sound. Some guys don't mind carrying tons of calls around their neck. I've already got plenty, I feel like. In fact, some guys don't even like to have that many, but I like to have enough to be able to attract the kind of birds that we have. We probably shoot mostly mallards. We shoot a few pintails, and everybody wants to shoot a pintail, so that's why I try to keep a pintail whistle, because it's always a bonus if we get one. Teal are a big part of our bag, and so it's always very important for me to keep a teal whistle on my lanyard. So what do you think? Do you use specialty type calls? If not, I really hope that you'll try them out the next time you go hunting. It might surprise you how effective they are in bringing in something other than a mallard. I have a few other calling videos that you need to check out. This one here is called Breaking the Rules. It's about doing things a little bit differently than what people tell you you're supposed to do. And this video down here is how to pick out a mallard duck call. Thanks for watching. I'm Joel Strickland. Good hunting, and God bless.